Shijian 28, 7A-Y10. The China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, CASC, successfully launched a Long March 7A, LM-7A, CZ-7A, rocket with the 7A-Y10 mission from Launch Complex 2, LC-201, at the Wenchang Commercial Space Launch Site, WCSLS, located at Wenchang, Hainan, China. This launch flew Shijian 28, SJ-28, a classified experimental satellite, to Geosynchronous Transfer Orbit, GTO. The flight took place on Sunday, November 30, 2025, at 12 hours and 20 minutes Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, or at 20 hours and 20 minutes China Standard Time, CST. Shijian, S.J. Shijian, Pinyin, Shijian, literal translation, practice, abbreviation, S.J., is a series of satellites built and operated by the People's Republic of China. Some Shijian series satellites have drawn significant concerns from the United States government and space observers who cite unannounced launches, undisclosed sub-satellites deployed in orbit, unusual orbital maneuvers, and demonstrated rendezvous proximity operations, RPO, including the close inspection and towing of other satellites. Little is known about the series and what differentiates it from other experimental satellite series launched by China such as the Chuangxin, Pinyin, Chuangxin, literal translation innovation, series or Shijian, Pinyin, Shijian, literal translation experiment, abbreviation SY, series. The China Aerospace Studies Institute of the United States Air Force asserts that Shijian series satellites play an earlier role in the system's development process, testing various new technologies on a single bus, while Shijian series satellites are used to develop the best operational practices and optimize the technologies previously tested on Shijian series satellites. In this regard, Shijian should be translated as best practice or put into practice, while Shijian ought to be translated as experiment, pilot, or trial.
Long March 7, LM7, CZ7. The Long March 7, or Changzheng 7 in Pinyin, abbreviated LM7 for export, or CZ7 within China, originally Long March 2FH or Changzheng 2FH, nicknamed Bingjian, the Ice Arrow, is a Chinese liquid-fueled launch vehicle of the Long March family, developed by the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, CASC. It made its inaugural flight on June 25, 2016. Designed as a replacement of the Long March 2F, Long March 7 and its variants was expected to be the workhorse of the fleet, projected to account for around 70% of all Chinese launches. Long March 7 plays a critical role in the Chinese space station program. It is used to launch the Tianzhou robotic cargo and resupply spacecraft to the station. The rocket was intended to replace the Long March 2F as China's crew-rated launch vehicle in the future, although by 2023 this role has apparently been taken over by the under-development Long March 10 and Long March 10A. Since 2020, in addition to the base Long March 7 configuration, there is the Long March 7A, CZ-7A etc., variant which differs from the base CZ-7 by the addition of a liquid hydrogen-liquid oxygen third stage inherited from the third stage of the Long March 3B. The rocket has also been developed into the Long March 8, using fewer boosters. Wenchang Commercial Space Launch Site, WCSLS. The Wenchang Commercial Space Launch Site, WCSLS, located at Wenchang, Hainan, is China's first commercial space launch site, and fifth space launch site. The launch site started construction in July 2022, and put into service in 2024. The Wenchang Commercial Space Launch Site is built and operated by Hainan International Commercial Aerospace Launch Co., Limited, HICL, a joint venture of the Hainan government and 3 state-owned conglomerates. In China, a commercial space center is a site owned by an entity other than the government or military. Construction of the site started in July 2022, and the Launch Complex 1 was finished on December 29, 2023. The second pad was finished by the end of May 2024, with 19 different rockets from 9 companies expected to launch using Launch Complex 2, LC2. China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, CASC. The China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, CASC, is a main contractor for the Chinese space program. It is state-owned and has subsidiaries which design, develop and manufacture a range of spacecraft, launch vehicles, and ground equipment. It also has a division for strategic and tactical missile systems. CASC was officially established in July 1999 as part of a Chinese government reform drive, having previously been one part of the former China Aerospace Corporation. Various incarnations of the program date back to 1956.